So okay, we will continue the Baeyer-Villager oxidation. Something we need to discuss in that Baeyer-Villager oxidation. Now we need to discuss whether these reactions are rearrangement. It is intramolecular or intermolecular, intramolecular or intermolecular rearrangement. So if it is intramolecular rearrangement, the migrating group detached from the rest of the molecule during rearrangement. If it is intermolecular rearrangements, then the migrating group never detached from the rest of the molecule during the course of the rearrangement. So it's called as intermolecular rearrangement. Also, for example, you are taking RCO R dash and we are treatment with trifluoroparasitic acid, and this is a migrating group and if it is completely detached, we call it as inter. If it is not detached, it is called the intramolecular rearrangement. So from the experimental evidence suggested that, so this is actually an intramolecular rearrangement. That indicates that this R group is never detached from the rest of the molecule during the course of the rearrangement. So how we can convince this, how we can prove this? So in order to decide whether it is an intra or intermolecular rearrangement, so we can go for crossover experiment. So in this experiment, we can take two different types of ketones. One is acetones, another is 3-pentanone, and we are subjecting to a Baeyer-Villager oxidation. What we are saying is that these two are not detached. If it is detached, what will happen? So if it is an intra, we will get only two products. If it is an intermolecular rearrangement, you will get four products. So this is normal product, normal, and this is abnormal product. So this abnormal product will be extra 2. We will get an extra 2 along with the 2 normal product, 2 abnormal product, 2 normal plus 2 abnormal, so total 4 product. If it is intra, you will get only 2 products. So during the rearrangement, so it actually proceeds via the formations of intermediate. This intermediate you will get CH3, COH, OOCO, CH3. Here we have CF3. Here we have CH3 plus that one CH3, CH2, COH, OOCO, CF3. Here we have CH2, CH3. What we are saying is that this is actually it's never detached from the rest of the molecule. If it is never detached from the rest of the molecules, it will directly attached. So this is the driving force it forms. It actually directly attached to oxygen, then this leaves. So here this goes here. So the driving force of the lone pair of electron, it eliminates. So this is what it happens in case of intramolecular rearrangement. If it is inter, what will happen? These two are free. If it is intermolecular rearrangement, so these two are free. So this CH3, CH2 are free. There is no bond, it's totally free. If it is free, what will happen? They can migrate from one end of the molecule to another edge. So they can move. So this will move towards here, this will go here. So once it goes there, what will happen? The CH3 will be attached here and CH3, CH2 will be attached here. So you are going to get CH3, CH2, CO, CH3 plus CH3, CO, sorry, this is oxygen, CH3, oxygen, CH2, CH3. So this is abnormal product, or we can call it as crossover product. So along with the normal product, we also get a crossover product that indicates that it is an intermolecular rearrangement, but during the crossover experiment there is no formation of this. There is no formation of these two products. Actually indicates that the rearrangement is purely intramolecular rearrangement. It's purely intramolecular rearrangement reactions. So another one thing that we can note down here, it is the electron rich ketone will undergo the Baeyer-Williger oxidations very easily. So the rate of the reactions will increases. Rate of the reactions increases as the electron donating nature of the ketone increases. Similarly, electron withdrawing nature of peracid increases, which also increases the rate of the reaction. So we need to increase electron rich group with respect to ketone, as well as electron withdrawing group with respect to the peracid. That is the reason why trifluoroperacid acid is more reactive than acetic acid or peracetic acid. So this is more reactive, this is less reactive. That is the reasons. Okay, so within this we completed the Baeyer-Williger oxidations reactions. Okay, thank you.